Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel for a brand new video on Gran Turismo Sport. I know I've told you before that I'm going to be making some videos on this game, but I bet most of you didn't even believe me, because the last time I played this game was back in 2017, and November the 4th it was when I played this game. It was freshly released and I tried some online races and I had quite a lot of fun, to be honest with you. Then I had a few moments that made me not want to play this game anymore, and that's pretty much the community here on the online games because of the lower ranks. But I was like, you know what, it's been quite a long time. I remember that I used to enjoy this game. Why not come back into it after 2 years and do some online races? So that's what I'm going to do for today. There's those daily races, of course. There's the Nations Cup and the Manufacturer Series, but I'm not going to go and jump onto this straight away because I'm probably going to be a noob at this game at that point. But for today, we've got a one-make race which I'm not really intrigued to try. We've got a Group 3 race in Suzuka and a Group 4 race in Interlagos. So two very exciting races, two very nice circuits, and those two categories of cars are probably the most commonly you're gonna see on those daily races. It's the ones that you drive with on the Manufacturer Series and the Nation Series. That's why you gotta try. That's why they put them more often onto those daily races. But first of all, I'm gonna be trying out Suzuka with the Toyota Supra. And I have to admit, the Toyota Supra didn't feel right for this circuit, so I don't recommend you trying it out. It just seemed like it lacked the downforce that you need on the circuit, and the traction also. I feel like it's not a very stable car, and I absolutely regretted the moment that I've chosen that car. But still, I tried to have a race on this car. The lap was quite bad at 2.3.8. We're going to be starting from 6th position, not so bad considering our rank at the moment. As you can see, driver rating on C and safety rating on B. Let's see where we're going to be at the end of this video. Surprisingly enough, we'll be starting from 5th position because somebody from the front left the lobby, and away we go for our first race here in Suzuka. In front of us we have a Volkswagen Beetle, which doesn't really have a lot of top speed, so we could have a chance to overtake him, not into turn 1, but probably into this first lap. This Beetle is actually very good through the corners and is a very good car for this track, same as the Porsche, and also the other Toyota, the FT1 if I'm correct. Right in front of us, I feel like there's an Alfa Romeo and also a Porsche in third. I don't know which car is leading the race. It's probably a Renault. And the Volkswagen has run wide. It's a very common mistake here, and that's going to gift us a position onto 4th. Now, oh my god, the Alfa Romeo has run wide. He makes contact with that. That's a dangerous recovery there onto the track. But that's going to promote us into 3rd position. On the same lap, we're currently trying to catch up with the leaders around wide here into this corner, and that's not going to be... Oh my god. What a return. Oh. Very, very quick return to the circuit. That's going to mess up my return, and I lost the back end completely there, and that's going to drop us down into 11th position. That's not ideal, though. That's pretty much race over. Right where we were on 3rd position. And one thing that I realized is I made so many mistakes as I came back into this game. I let this car go through because I blocked him on the inside line, and I thought that wasn't really fair. I run wide here once again. There's a yellow flag up ahead. But yeah, you can make a lot of mistakes when you're coming back into a game after a long time. So yeah, don't expect yourself, if you're coming, for example, after 5 months into one game, to not make mistakes. Because I go pretty frustrated when I'm making mistakes and I'm coming back into a game, but it's all about getting back into the rhythm of the game. As this Porsche now is going up our inside, let's see, he's going to make the move stick. He actually pushes me wide there. Very, very close racing, and he's actually logging like crazy there. At the same time, he's going to run wide into this same corner. It's a corner that can really catch you off because you're pretty relaxed. You know you can easily get this corner, but it's not as easy as you may already think. This Nissan has made a mistake, and that's gonna promote us up into 8th position. So still, I was setting some faster sectors, which was pretty encouraging. But it was only lap 2, and then I got completely dive bombed, and I'm getting a 1 second penalty. I want you to remember that 1 second penalty. That's just ridiculous there. I completely got dive bombed, and I made slight corner because I wanted to turn into the corner, and I didn't even notice that guy on the inside, and I get a 1 second penalty. So still, penalty system on this game is pretty messed up, and it's ironic that it still hasn't been fixed. On the final lap, we're catching up to a pack of cars, and this guy I'm just unlucky there. I'm just an innocent bystander there. I was at the end of the train of cars, and that's pretty much the end of my race. 11th position it was for that first race. What can I say? A very unlucky race to say the least, but that made me change cars and try out actually the other Toyota, the FT1, and I've actually won a race with this car in the past on this circuit. So I was like, okay, you know, this could be the one. I did some practice, I improved my qualifying lap into a 2.29, and that instantly promoted us into 4th position, and away we go for the second race of this video. And right here into turn 1, we can see that Renault has actually been used by plenty of drivers, and I think it was the previous winner of the race. And around this corner, let's see, is anyone going to make a mistake? And that's going to be the unlucky victim. The unlucky victim, the Mitsubishi, the Spanish Mitsubishi there. He was actually very close into 1st position. Probably got that dirty air, and he ran wide in this corner. Now I get a very good run around this corner now, and we could go around the outside of this Renault. That's a beautiful move. We can pull it off. Down the inside, he actually goes back into me with that re-overtake. What a crazy move by that French guy. That was very nice racing. Big ups to him. What a crazy move that was. How did he pull that off? He runs wide through once R31, and how did I... Oh my god, my corner names here on Suzuka are not very good. 130R I meant to say, but this time I go for the switch back into the chicane, and we're going side by side. I'm going to try and get back into the slipstreaming now and probably go for the move into the first corner. Let's see, can we make that move stick? Side by side into turn 1, up the inside. He actually runs wide. And it's such a shame because that guy was a very fair driver and I really enjoyed racing with him, but he ran wide, he lost the position as well. He's down into 4th, and now it's all about me versus the Swiss guy in the Alfa Romeo. Who's going to win this race? Let's see. It's a 1.7 second gap, 2 laps to go. A lot of time to improve and to close down that gap and probably go for the move. Lap number 3, we're actually 8/10 now behind the Alfa Romeo. In into turn 1 we go. I've slightly run wide and I'm gonna spawn it again. That's a very amateur mistake there. You know, when I see the gap is getting... Oh my god, the Mitsubishi just spun again. Might have been my fault there. He might have lost his concentration there because of me. Well, that was a very unlucky move by me. That guy is gonna brake check me like crazy there. Well, I'm gonna make that move stick. I've still got the fastest lap. Is he gonna come back to me? He's got the slipstreaming. He's got everything he needs. He's not really gonna go for a move. He actually bumped me there. At that point, I thought he would actually take me out of the race, but he didn't. He was actually pretty fair. He probably understood that he brake checked me. As for my race there, I completely lost concentration there, because I was seeing that the gap was getting smaller and smaller, and I lost out that victory out of my hands there. That's gonna be a slight mistake there once again. Completely lost the back end. Is that gonna give the position now to the Spanish guy? He probably is. He's gonna have the inside line. He's gonna push me wide. It's not a fair move by him, but into the final chicane. This is the final lap. He was very scared. He turns to the inside. I go around the outside. Can we complete that move? Into the inside. Oh god, I slightly tap him there. And despite what he did to me, I was like, that's a very unfair move. I don't want to get a position like that. I completely like threw him off there. I completely pissed him off that chicane. But what can you do? 5th position it is. We lost out a victory like that. And I'm not going to say that I could have been much faster, but I need to improve my consistency throughout the race. Next up I had another race with a Toyota. I didn't change cars. I thought that I could actually improve a lot. I even improved my qualifying lap. I had a 2.2.1 and that was a very good lap for the time being, and I actually started the race from 8th despite the improvement of my qualifying lap. That Mercedes is actually going to run wide there already into turn 1. That's going to be a 3rd position gained for us. Already into the chicane. Oh my god, that's very unfair. That's very unfair. The Mitsubishi completely pushed the Mercedes out of the track, and that's going to be a free move once again done. Oh, and karma for the Mitsubishi. He's going to spun out into the exit. And we're going to get him now around the outside. Not going to leave me any space, mate, but that's okay. Gonna put on my lights there in frustration, but 5th position so far. In front of us, it's an Audi A8. Oh my god, lucky save there. Into turn 1. I don't know how he saved that. Into the chicane now, we're very close to each other. Let's see. I'm going to go for my all-time classic move around the outside there. Going for the switchback into the next corner right here, and through the final corner, going to try and get the perfect exit. Stick to the slipstreaming and try and complete that move. He's trying to change line into the inside. I'm going to the inside, mate. Final lap. This is for 3rd position for a podium finish. I complete the move. Slight contact there. I leave the inside line open. And he's just gonna piss me off. What a flipping idiot. This is not how you race. This is why I gave up on Gran Turismo Sport. This is just terrible. He completely pissed me off the circuit and doesn't even care. At the end of the race, the annoying thing is that the penalty system is so inconsistent that it didn't even give him a penalty. Remember the penalty I got into the first race? And 1 second penalty for nothing. And this guy, despite pissing me off the circuit, is getting absolutely no punishment out of this. But whatever. I changed cars. I moved into the Porsche. Like, I thought that this was going to be my lucky race. I set a very good qualifying lap at 2.16, and that put me into 3rd position. Deserved. Like, I feel like improving my qualifying pace was very important in order to improve my race pace as well. Because if you're really down the pack and you're trying to climb up the pack, fight for that victory, it's not going to be very easy for you. There was that thing with this Porsche. It locked downforce through that couple of corners, and you could run slightly wide and completely lose the back end. But in front of me, the guy that was in 2nd position has spun out, the Italian. That's going to be, for me, 5th position now. But we've actually lost 3 positions now. Lap number 3, we're getting closer into that train of cars who are fighting for 2nd position. Remember, these are the cars that started behind me, but because of my mistake, we've all got nice little brazier sticker there. That guy has lost the back end there, a bit of a tax lap, and he's down into 5th. I'm up into 4th. Now there's another Porsche rider in front of me. He's actually got a 5/10 penalty, so I shouldn't really push for the move. He actually loses the control of the car into turn 1. Once again, another very nice save there. Very close to him. Look at this close racing through the S's now. This is my favorite part of the circuit. I really like this part. Really need to dedicate yourself into these corners. Get the maximum out of the car. There's a yellow flag up ahead, and it's the leader of the race. At the same time, this Porsche has spun out due to my pressure, and we're up into second position already, with the leader on the Volkswagen leading the race now out of nowhere. He's gonna win the race. I'm gonna finish second position despite my mistake there. After that first lap mistake, I had a pretty consistent race, and that's gonna give us second position. This is the first good race I had. Didn't crack under pressure. Instead, my opponents cracked under pressure, and then I had to do another lap on that Porsche because I knew that there was more time hidden in this car. And this is my best qualifying effort from this whole recording session, and it came from this Porsche. So I'm gonna let you enjoy it. A very, very good lap around Suzuka. By the end of this lap, as you can see, I had a 2:07. It's not the perfect lap. There was still a few mistakes in it that I could have improved, but obviously that put me into pole position, and I was like, that was a very good lap. And we were starting from pole. I knew this car that could give me that consistent driving that I was looking for. As you can see on the first lap, I tried to break the slipstreaming, because behind me there's another Porsche and we'll probably have the same top speed. And after that, I think that the Norwegian guy had an R8 and I make a mistake there onto the final corner. That's a mistake that I've never made before, and that's gonna open up the door now for the R8. That's gonna make the move stick there already before turn 1. That's gonna give the lead now to the Norwegian guy, and now it's time for me to fight for the lead, even though I wouldn't have to fight for the lead. We're very close to him. I feel like my pace is better. It's all about trying to not crack under pressure now and complete that move. He didn't have a very good exit there to the final corner. Let's see. We're gonna stick to the slipstreaming. 1/10 gap. Switch to the inside now. Side by side, as we've just ended lap 3 into turn 1. I kept the inside line there. That was a very nice racing there, and with that move we've actually regained the lead onto lap 3, and we were about to get our first ever victory. From then on, we opened up the gap from the guy on second, just that a little bit. He wasn't very slow, he was actually very competitive and pushed me into my limits throughout this race. Set a 2.12 as the fastest lap and won our first race here in Suzuka with the Porsche. And we've also done the perfect, like pole position, fastest lap, a clean race and a victory. So that was actually a fantastic race. Yeah, I couldn't really explain how did I win this race despite that mistake I made and lost the lead, and still fought back and won that race here in Suzuka. Then I decided to give that Volkswagen a try around Suzuka because it's a very good track around here. It just lacks that top speed. But we were starting once again with pole, with the lap that the Porsche actually gave us. Behind me there was another Volkswagen, so that's why I was trying to break the slipstreaming as always into lap 1. And starting from pole position, my main target was to not make any mistakes and give up first position as I always do. The car behind me was very close to me, but I've actually coped with it pretty well for the time being. I've been coping with it. On the first lap already, as you can see, through 130R, the other Volkswagen is very close to me, and now he's actually a 1/10 behind me into the chicane. Is he gonna have the balls to go up the inside? He doesn't really have them, but you know, fair enough. He didn't really try to risk it there. He respected my well-being, to be honest with you. But after lap 1, I've opened up the gap, and I was setting very good and fast laps. I had set a 2.1, and then onto the final lap, as I've opened up a 5.2 second gap from second position, I set it to 0.8, and that was a fantastic lap and another victory here in Japan. So after I was like, you know, I've proven myself around here. I've got another victory here in Japan with a different car as well. So you can actually win in Japan with the Porsche and the Volkswagen. I bet you could win also with the Toyota FT1. It was just me getting used to the game once again. So after that, I've actually decided to try out the other race in Interlagos, the Group 4 race, and I once again picked up my favorite car from this category, the Renault Megane Trophy 11. That's probably my favorite car out of this. It's not the best car, but I feel like it's got a very nice handling, and the other Megane Group 4 has a better top speed. This one has better aerodynamics. It's very good to the corners, has too much downforce pretty much in it. And that's what I want from a car. I don't want it to understeer, and it doesn't really oversteer at the same time. It's a fantastic car. But as you're going to see right here, we were starting from 7th position. Right here, I'm going to stick to the slipstream with the Mustang, and unfortunately, we're just not going to get it done. We're not going to be getting any closer to him. But right here, he's going to run wide, and I'm going to take advantage of that. Thank you very much. 6th position. So yeah, the only issue with this car is the top speed. But who needs top speed when you've got that corner speed on point? Lap number 2 of 11 laps this race has. This is why I really enjoyed these races here in Brazil, because there were 11 lap races, as this car actually runs wide at Mitsubishi, and we're going to be making a move there up into 5th position, very close to that Lamborghini there. But once again, he also has slipstreaming, and that's not going to allow me to go for a move there. As you can see, he's opening up the gap nice and slowly. On lap number 4, I make that slight mistake, and that slight mistake right here is gonna give me a 5/10 penalty. It's ironic. Once again, I get a 5/10 penalty for slightly extending the track limits. Like, it's ironic. A 5/10 penalty out of that, I pretty much got rid of that straight away. But still, we were having a fight there with this Lamborghini. I got back into overtaking distance. He runs wide into this corner, and that's a place where I love overtaking, when the driver's in front of me understeer. And we're going to be completing that move right here up into P4. Lamborghini had no chance against me there, and right in front of me now it's a Subaru, and out of nowhere he decides to jump into the pit stop. So probably I saw other drivers behind me also do that. They probably had issues with the tires, because the fuel is actually enough for you to finish the race. So probably they didn't manage the tires well, or they didn't really feel comfortable. But I don't feel like it's worth it to go in for a pit stop, because you're going to lose plenty of time and plenty of positions. As for me, on lap number 7, I'm going up the inside now of my teammate, sort of. He's using the same car but with a much cooler livery. We go around the outside into turn number 3. Can we hold it around the outside? He's still on my inside. Fair and square there. He maintains 2nd position, but I know I'm faster than him, and I'm going to be waiting for one opportunity to open up here onto turn number 4. I'm hoping that he's going to run wide, and he is going to crack under pressure. I'm trying to sneak up the inside into turn number 4. He actually brakes later. He makes contact with me. That was an impossible move to pull out there. He tried to go around the outside, but that was just impossible for him to pull out. That was crazy. And he pretty much lost second position. He maintained third, obviously. And then it was a race between me and that Portuguese guy, Picho. He was racing on a Porsche Group 4, which obviously has better top speed. But I was actually closing down the gap on lap number 10. That was the only time that I think really costed me the race, apart from that 5/10 penalty. That slight mistake there. He gave him a few tenths there. But at the end of the day, it was the final lap. I had a 5/10 gap, and I'm gonna say that as much respect as I have for this guy for actually not cracking under pressure and staying ahead of me for so many laps without making any mistakes at all. If I had a better top speed throughout there, it could have been a photo finish into the finish line. That would be sick. But respect to this guy, he actually won this race fair and square. And yeah, what can I say? A pretty decent race for me. Starting from 8th, I think, on the grid, finishing 2nd. Not any mistakes at all, and clear moves. Like, that was a very good race. I felt like, okay, that suits me a little bit more. But I'm gonna congratulate that guy for winning that race. He was actually perfect throughout the race. He didn't make any mistakes at all, and he deserves to be up there winning a race. But then I went back into qualifying. I had to improve my qualifying form. I set a 1:39.2. That was the best I could do with this car. I feel like I didn't have a lot of qualifying pace, but race pace was quite good with this car. Surprisingly enough, I got pole position out of this, and yeah, that just gave me pole position out of nowhere. You all may be wondering why I have this username on. Some OG fans might remember this username from back in the day, but this was actually pre-recorded before the Japanese races. That's why I have this username on. So yeah, I later changed it because I couldn't bear to see that username again on it just doesn't represent me anymore, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's a full name of the channel, it just doesn't represent me. And where we go for the second race here in Japan, I was about to say, in Brazil. This time starting from pole position. Considering our race pace was very good into the previous race, we shouldn't really face any difficulties in this race. It's just about having consistency for 11 laps straight in order to win this race. And I've already built a 1.5 second gap from the guy behind, who's actually driving a Peugeot. I've never seen somebody using that Peugeot around Brazil, but it's probably pretty good. I mean, I'm fine with my Renault. I'm probably going to be changing cars at some point, but I've been choosing this car over everything, over anything else, on almost all Group 4 races. As you can see, the gap was getting bigger and bigger. On lap number 2, it was around 3 seconds. He was never going to have a chance to overtake me as long as I didn't make mistakes. There was once again that thing that plenty of drivers actually pitted for some weird reason. I don't understand why people pitted in this race. Like, there was no problem with the tire wear. I was consistently, I said a 1:39.9, which was better than my qualifying effort, I believe, but I didn't really find any issue with the tires, despite them getting warning out. Like, I feel like I could set a consistency laps. Like, I was setting 1:41s consistently throughout the whole race, and the gap ended up being a 22-second gap. So I only included this race in the video because I feel like it was my most consistent, probably my most complete race. I felt like a very experienced racing driver at that point, finishing the race on first. Clean race, fastest lap, another win with a Renault. Our first win around Brazil, obviously. Didn't actually win the previous race. So I was very proud to say I had another perfect race. Yeah, pole position, fastest lap, clean race, and another win. This time with the Renault Megane around Brazil. So that's another victory to put into our records, and that's the end of the video. I feel like I've put enough footage of racing to you. Tell me down in the comments below if you actually enjoyed this video, because I can post more. I really want to use that Elgato a little bit more. It's a very nice thing that I have down here on my desk. in order to record Gran Turismo Sport. The only reason I got it was for Gran Turismo Sport, so please tell me down in the comments below if you enjoyed that video and if you want to see more Gran Turismo Sport content. I will happily do it for the time being, as long as I'm not annoyed by the competition, let's just say, with the dirty driving. But this is also the daily car that you receive. It's pretty much something like a roulette, and you get a free car every time you enter the game and you do a certain amount of kilometers around the track. So yeah, that was it for today, guys. If you enjoyed, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure you are subscribed so that you know when I'm going to be uploading next, as the next video is going to be on The Rally 2.0 with the Colin McRae scenario mode, and probably I will gift you with some WRC8 videos in the future. So until then, I'm going to catch you later. Goodbye.